Hey guys, trying something new here. So what I've done is I bought this camera for 20 bucks from the college asset sale, and I had to buy a battery and a charger cable off of eBay, and those were 10 bucks each. So I do know that this thing is pretty old school, it's old fashioned, it's just a miniDV thing, but if this works out well, maybe we'll keep going with it. We'll see what happens. So if this does well and if people start, watching the ads and stuff and I start making some money, I'll buy a better camera. But I was thinking this would be way better than me sitting there with a cell phone trying to take a shot at something. So basically I'm hoping this will become the new format of how the videos are happening, so I can do an introduction, you get to see me, life is good. So what I am going to do today though, for fun, so this is kind of a trial thing, but I saved this coffee maker. It's an old Black & Decker, and it's not really to take it apart to see how it works, it's more to take it apart to see if there's anything worth salvaging in it. So the next time you throw one out, you might think, hey, maybe there's a real-time clock in there, I don't know, maybe a voltage regulator. We'll see, maybe it's all surface mount, maybe it's all junk, but we'll take it apart and we'll see what happens. So here we go, this is the first shot of me trying to actually record something semi-professional. So thanks. If you like it, let me know, leave comments, talk to me, let's try to get this channel moving. So the real reason why the coffee maker actually got given the go here was that the this is a car fray, I think is the name. It cracked, and well, that was the end of that. So probably wouldn't hurt you, but whatever. So we'll set this aside. And I discovered I actually bought a nice little stainless steel coffee maker, and I didn't really give it much thought, but I kind of enjoy how you can't taste the plastic in it at all. So up here, just a tube, obviously for getting the water up to the basket. Underneath, oh no, we got a problem already, guys. Can we get it in there? Can you see? These are fancy little 3-prong screws. Okay, well, we'll cope with it. This will not be the end of my first teardown video. Oh, look at that. Winner. I would actually, if somebody can give me a reason for why these, are they usually China? I don't know. If somebody can actually give me some feedback on why these screws exist, that would be awesome. Is that it? Are we in? Oh, ta-da. So far, not too terribly exciting. So this here is going to be power supply components, I'd imagine, for the most part. So you know what, there might be some stuff worth saving in there. And this, of course, will be the circuit board for, well, that'll be our software. So see some tact switches and stuff in there. Yeah, we can dig in some more. So we have this thermodisc. I think thermodisc is a brand name, but once it gets so hot it switches off the element. So the element is this guy. This is actually kind of clever. They've got this guy underneath, so it's 2 tubes. This one's for liquid, and right below it's the element. So maybe we could save the element if we wanted. I don't know what we'd do with it ever, but So it just heats it up, and then I think it's just the hot water wanting to go up is how it works. So there's no pump or anything to get the water up to start brewing the coffee. Well, I might save some of this actually. I don't know if this is nylon, I think, maybe, or something, but this stuff's usually good heat resistant stuff to have, or you could use it to stop parts from chafing. So I'll probably save that. Let's keep digging. So, I'll have to cut the power cable off. So this is going to the control panel at the front. So I would say this thing's probably only delivering power to the front panel, and it's probably got a signal wire in there for this relay, because this relay is connected to the burner. So it's a 12 volt relay on there, which is rated for 120 volts, so that's what's toggling the heat on. So I betcha if we followed that trace back, oh, look at that. The board's actually got some chunks out of it to isolate it. If we looked at this relay, we would probably see that it goes back to this transistor, which is a SS8050. I'm not familiar with that one off the top of my head, but oh, look at that. Actually, I didn't expect this. I was wondering if there was a regulator on here or not, and if you look really closely just under my finger there, that is a Zener diode. So they didn't even put a, they may not have put a regulator in here at all, and they're just using the Zener to give the regulation, because it's probably not pulling much. I think that package might only be good for a 1/4 watt, I'm not sure off the top of my head. Interesting. Let's see what we can find out about the circuit board. Ah! Look at that. So, they've done a little bonding here, so I'm not sure what all it's connected to. But we'll lift this. There's no ground wire on this appliance, so generally in Canada anyway, that means that, well, first of all, it's polarized on the plug, and secondly, it means that it has to be double insulated, which is supposed to get them around the requirement for the ground wire. And they've gooped on all of this. Let's see. Let me see if I can tell you what this chip is. No can do. Maybe I'll leave this light on for the color temperature's not very good. So basically, oh, I see a crystal in there. Let's get this apart. Actually, it's actually labeled on the connector. There you go. It's flashing 12. So this module I just fired up off of a 5-volt supply quickly. Look at that. So if you wanted to, I can tell it to make my coffee. And I could, it only sends the one signal, so this thing's just sending back a signal telling it to turn the heat on. So I guess really with this module I could actually set a clock and I could program it, and I could actually set a timer on something. This actually might be worth saving on its own, because I just sent 5 volts into this thing and it already works, and all I'd have to do is connect something to the signal output, which is probably 5 volts, and I could put it on a tip. I could use this thing to actually be a timer to control anything. Maybe we'll do that, but for now what I'll do is I'm going to keep tearing it down, because that's what we're doing. Okay, so we're in a little bit deeper now. So without a dirty visor in front of it, we have this. So you know what? Yeah, if you want an LED for a clock, there you go. I'm pretty sure you could probably pull a spec sheet up on this if you wanted to use it. What else have we got here? Just our little switches here, auto on program, minute, hour. So they've actually done a really good job of labeling this board. I'm actually pretty impressed. So maybe I'll throw the plastic out and just hang on to this. I have a bunch of holes for mounting. That's pretty nice. Let's see if we can figure out a little bit more about it. It looks like the brand of capacitors is called Imagine. Some little diodes, 4148s. Looks like some kind of crystal. Oh, and it looks like there's more of the same transistors. ST8550D. So I wonder... There's another one here. There's 4 of them. I don't know why they have all that. Yeah, LED is not terribly exciting here. LED is on a 300 ohm resistor. And we have some nice little caps on there. Not sure what their method of picking some of these parts are. So I don't know if this is a custom chip on the back, but it appears to be that this this chip is doing it all here. I'm going to say this is a win just to salvage this board, because it's easy to use with 3 wires. So there you go. 12, 12. Let's throw an hour on there. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. There's a nice little gasket around here too to seal gunk from getting in. Whoa, super bright. Okay, back to the chip. Oh yeah, you're not reading that now. Okay, I guess we just weren't meant to get a part number off of this chip, but I'm going to assume this is just some kind of generic chip meant for a coffee maker or something, so... okay. Getting into cheap design here. So these tabs, you could just use a crimp-on connector, but they've actually gone ahead and just welded it on there, so I don't know if I really care about salvaging it. Looks like it just pops up. Come on. Huh. Was clipped on. I'm actually impressed to see that they used some paste there to help transfer the heat. And for those of you who care, let's see what the temperature is that my coffee was at. So this thing is a 155 degrees Celsius disc, so that's pretty hot. So I'd imagine that the coffee probably never got quite that hot, but the burner did. And attached to it, these I think are just one-time deals, so if you blow one of these out, they're done. But if they hit a certain temperature, I believe that these are what cuts out, so you don't burn your house down, right? Is there a temperature on here? C fuse SF214. Oh, this one says Jet 250. So I don't know if one's a heat and one's a current fuse or what, but whatever. And these hoses are just spring clamped on. So I hate these things when they're in cars, but they're cheap, but you know what? It lasted the life of the coffee maker. So there, you see how that goes on. And this clamp just hooks it on there. So, surprisingly thick. I can get you a bit of a shot in there. Yeah, so I don't really know. I guess some people might have something to do with this, but I really don't have any use for making a hot plate that could burn down my house, so I'm probably just going to let this part go. So I just can't think of any reason to use it. So, yeah, I'm not really interested in any of these other parts. But if you did want to make some kind of project where it was a temperature thing, you know, hey, it's cool. But this this burner is 120 volts, and so there is stuff in here that can hurt you if you're building a project, so you'll want to be careful. So your microcontroller stuff usually won't hurt you, but this stuff will, so err on the side of caution with that. Alright, well, do I really care? I just might let this part go too, because I can just buy a new relay. I don't really care about these caps. They're not any fancy name or anything. We'll be hanging on to the power cable. Okay. So, let's go this way. Which way's better for you? So we had the mains coming in. We had these wires going to the element on the heater. This here is our bridge rectifier. This little guy here, that's a 5.6 volt Zener. That was going to the connector that ran the clock. It also runs over to this, so I'm going to assume this is like an NPN or something. I might look the part number up and I'll just text over what it is. You'll also see here a flyback diode for this relay. So this relay is being connected by this little guy, this TO92 thing. And I'm going to say this is just all filtering. So they put no actual voltage regulator on here, so they brought her to 12 volts before it gets the job done. So yeah, nothing to steal out of here really. I'm going to let her go, but it's nifty to take a look and see how they did it. So, alright, cool. Okay, there you have it. This is my first real teardown video that I've done. So this is the end of the coffee maker now. It's gonna move on. I guess I'll just send it for appliance recycling, I guess. I'll just take advantage of that. But I am gonna keep, the win was the control panel. So what we did discover today was that the controls for a coffee maker like this is actually just all done through 3 little wires. So we have 5 volts ground and a signal wire to control the elements. So we got a useful little module here that we can use for a different project. So we'll repurpose this. Maybe it'll become part of something else. Maybe it'll be Christmas lights. So I think this had a 2-hour shut off on it. So really, I guess if you told it to turn on at 7 o'clock at night, it could be your Christmas lights. So who knows? Maybe we'll do something else like that. We also got to take, well, I'm going to save this polarized power cord just because I always need cords off of things. And we did take a pretty good look at the power supply circuit board. So, am I going to keep it? No. Could you keep it for something? Sure, if you weren't going to drive a whole lot. I think this would actually be a not bad solution. And you did get that little 120 volt relay. So, if you're just doing a small little microcontroller project and you know what you're doing, there you go. You have main switching, you have a power supply. So yeah, just work safe when you do that. I'm going to pass this one up though, I don't really care. And the rest of this I also don't really care about, but if you wanted a heating element, there is one in there, and the little thermo discs and some shutoffs. So I'm also going to pass this up, but not to say somebody else wouldn't be interested in this. So anyway, if you stumble across this video, this was the first time I've used my DV cam for this, so hopefully we'll keep doing it this way, and if things look like they're picking up, I'd like to take some of the money from the channel and dump it back into equipment for doing these things, maybe some better lights in here, but we'll see what happens. Leave your feedback, leave your comments, watch an ad at the start to help me buy that new camera, or maybe some new gear for the bench here. So anyway, thanks for watching.